You're watching Picks on Politics with Dan Manarino.
And welcome back to Picks on Politics. Well, just 2 weeks after a devastating helicopter crash over the Hudson, the City Council is now taking action. Now, 6 people lost their lives when part of that helicopter broke off midair, crashed. There's an investigation. City Council Majority Leader Amanda Farías has long supported legislation that passed on Thursday banning helicopters from taking off on non-essential flights from city-owned helipads unless they meet strict FAA noise standards. And the council member is joining me now. So, Councilmember Farías, great to have you here to talk more about this important legislation. Good to see you.
Good to see you too, Dan. Thank you.
So, explain the importance right now, before we get into what exactly the bill is, about noise standards, because that's what the hearing was actually about before this crash even took place, right? So, talk about the noise standards and how that impacts safety.
Yeah, so realistically, when we're looking at how New York City governments, how the City Council can actually govern and be able to regulate the issues that we're seeing with noise around the city of New York from helicopters and from our heliports, it comes down to the noise code and what we have jurisdiction to cover. And what I realized through 2 oversight hearings over the last 3 years on this issue was we were not regulating the noisiest heliports and the noisiest helicopters that are flying over our city with any data points to match the over 59,000 noise complaints we were getting annually from New Yorkers.
So were non-essential helicopter flights previously a big business in New York? Like, how is this going to change moving forward? What are people going to see over the skies?
So right now, what transpired over the last couple the last several months was we saw a new contract come to regulate our heliports from the EDC and a new contractor. And what I was hoping, hearing after hearing, was to see that the EDC was going to incorporate some of the regulatory measures that we've been hearing from constituents on and how to actually manage some of these issues from the city's perspective. This new contract came out and it did not include any regulatory measures on noise. And so what this bill is doing is when the new contract comes into play, we will see about 9% of the helicopters that are flying over New York right now that are the oldest, the loudest, and not following the FAA's policies come offline.
Okay, but it does not, and correct me if I'm wrong, regulate the tourism flights that start in New Jersey, fly over New York, and kind of vice versa, right? Is there anything to work around a loophole like that? Because do you see the tourism helicopters as a factor in some of the dangerousness standards that are happening?
Sure. I mean, this is going to regulate every helicopter that comes out of our heliport. So if you do have some of the vendors that go between the 2 states, they will not be able to take off and land in one of our heliports if they do not meet the actual stage 3 noise standard that we're setting in place right now. Granted, we can't control what New Jersey's, politics or local governments want to do with the sightseeing flights that come out and come over the city. And that's part of why the helicopter oversight package included the resolutions that are calling on the FAA to actually do something. I mean, year after year, decade after decade, we're hearing from New Yorkers, and our federal partners are going up and asking the federal government, every administration, to do something, and nothing has transpired. So we're putting pressure on them with a goalpost right now saying New York is taking a stand on following protocol that is going to impact and actually create a better quality of life for New York.
So here's the question I have for you then, right? In order for the legislation to become law, it has to be signed by Mayor Adams. Now, I spoke to the mayor about this, and he said he does not support any restrictions to air travel in the city because he wants to support helicopter tours. It brings in money for the city. Do you think you'll have the support, or do you think he's not going to sign it? Is it veto-proof?
As chair of the Committee on Economic Development, who has worked hand in hand with the Economic Development Corporation in this bill development, I believe that we are doing everything we can to make sure we're both safeguarding the good actors in the industry, but also protecting New Yorkers' quality of life. And I do believe that the administration is going to see this bill as a positive outcome to regulating an industry here in New York City.
Okay, so if it does pass, I mean, if it passed, but if he does sign it into law, who is the person who actually goes to make sure that they're not taking off?
So that will be EDC in unison with Skyports right now, who is the manager of the heliports.
Okay. Any word on when this gets to the mayor's desk? Is this part of the budget deal?
Well, we already passed it, so it should be heading to his desk as soon as we passed it yesterday. And it's not a part of our budget conversations, but like I said, I do believe that the administration will be supportive.
Okay, I think it's the first step for something people have long been asking for. Councilwoman Farías, great to have you here on Picks and Politics. Good to see you.
Good to see you too. Thank you so much.
Okay. And on topic of the mayor's race, everybody, Adrienne Adams picking up 2 major endorsements from Attorney General Tish James and a major union. We're going to have an update on the race for mayor coming up next.